a universal language of Ultraman, escaping reality with poetry. Universal language taught regardless of the animosity of man is my way of escaping, capturing creativity through a ballpoint capsule that runs on unnatural chemicals that resemble collective blood from a thimble. Seatbelts fastened, the fascinating figures flying around can even astound and inspire beings of a higher power, powering the universe with hydroelectricity from an Eiffel Tower. Shutting it down will result in a breakdown of communication. Radio airwaves, no more public service announcements will be catered to any races. The earth is infested with helpless hamsters choking on biodegradable hazard labels for safety precaution, no talking, while the teachers giving lectures without answers, coming from an illiterate liberal liberating librarians from illustrating lobotomies in an artificial economy ran by these animals, eating the edible animals. Hannibal Lecter was a cannibal, nibbling on the nebula of life, living it to the fullest, glowing amulets with telekinetic card decks that explode on first contact, contacting the universal inhabitants through the galaxy, ambling on, inhabiting intergalactic cabin facilities affiliated with alien faculty, cultivating the classical tributes, contributing to the funding of my hip-hop moon roots. But what's the use?
I don't know what that is. I have okay images, and within the migration of the music, the immensity of poetry urges me to continue this mission that I was given since I was first conceived, believed to be a burden, burning the leaves of my family tree as they watch me descend into a rude awakening of consciousness. To be fresh is not the main objective. Eclectic when I said it, pertaining to the select situation or theme, somehow, some way, something in the beams in between me and my dreams, connecting with the exception of the nightmares which hold annihilation, holocaust, illumination, witness a greater depression as the inflation consumes the nation. Locked in a tomb and still waiting, resist this no longer. The clock has no time for short-longevity minds who find it useless to climb out of their sublime tricks as we submit to the electronic mix of microchip software implanted under your head of hair. No assumption shall be spared, and my questions are the answer given. A simple explanation of that is simply living will never be gave, only a paid way to your grave. While all the net surfers crave to ride a new wave into a new age of mutation, fingertips are now lips as they click clack over the keyboard.
Tracks. Yeah, another page out of the book of Ultraman. Let me tell you how my day went. Artificial happiness in a forgotten realm. Let's see. The other day I had an automotive malfunction that resulted in my destruction and demise, in a compromisable situation that was initiated by an electrical engineering problem. Solving it systematically, radically changes and rearranges the strangest, dangerous universal language taught regards to the animosity of the brainless, but still I'm aimlessly remaining verbally, anonymously convincing invincible, superficial, critical thinkers that I existed BC. But the devastating, degrading eggheads riding in a yellow cart into hypnotic training, everyday subliminal ritual for the meek and the weak-minded, blinded, confined by the absent-minded professor, confessing to the closed-minded minister preparing the dinner plates. But still you rate yourselves in these forgotten realms of society constantly. Constantly, I'm ultimately tested to the outer limits of subliminal brain surgeon general and outer-dimensional physical and whimsical battle of wits. I illuminate brains like a runaway tunnel, shoving poems into the minds with a funnel of test tube MCs who attack me with weak rap passages blowing smoke through the nose. From the gas mask of Ultraman, I breathe poetry absorbed through my lungs. It overwhelms my soul like the powers of an orb. Give me 100% brain use for my goal of survival for the future in a dimension of corridors shut closed by foes with horns and nostrils, sharp pens and toes. But I guess that's the way it goes. await the return of a celestial being, keeping my senses keen and thoughts as sharp as a guillotine. I like collective meditating and recollecting on devastating, devious godlike concepts, blessed with delicate elegance. It brings me great pleasure to construct, create, conduct, imagine, explore, experience, absorb, and inspire beings of a higher power, blossoming in the sunshine like sunflowers, a partnership of building for expression. Poetic sacrificial offerings displayed throughout a time of magnificent masquerades. In the past days and days passing me by and days to come, I wish I could just caress the pendulum around my neck, becoming a glowing amulet, teleporting myself into a land of individuals with open-minded intellect. Intelligence reflects the communication and depth of the same, overshadowed, overlooked Nephilim, preparing himself and his family for the new millennium, minimizing the level of ignorance. Instead, an influence of common sense and theocratic logical thinking, erasing the mark of the beast technology, but implanting the seed of spiritual immortality and producing an aura of immunity. The community we live in is easily influenced and overpowered by the numbers and hands constructed and bound to the helpless tower. Reprogramming our minds and our way of life can cause the creation of a new earth, a rebirth, sprouting from the dirt that we all return to and learn who we really are. I yearn to communicate with the creator of the stars. Thirsting for the realistic but enchanting fantasies of happiness, canceling the message of negativity and animosity. Speaking about what I believe and feel is very costly, but my own personal being is not important to me in the 21st century. I'm just a messenger galloping through galaxies on a Pegasus horse, trying to reroute the course of the comet, about to bring humanity to its knees with a decadence of destruction, filling my belly with a substance substantial to the existence of the doorways, exiting the female uterus into a euphoria, a modern day Sodom and Gomorrah, full of pestilence, ignorance, and famine. Unfamiliar to me, I think not, I don't think so. My feelings and emotions stir up their own commotion inside of me. Ultraman is conductor of pure energy, endless imagination generated from my synapse. Hopefully before I collapse, my rejoicing of pain will create an eclipse that will sustain the reign of universal language. Before we're wallowing in a pool of anguish and disparity, everyone will be deeply moved by this melodious tune, exploring it and storing it and pouring it into our melting pot for a glorious reflection. But this is my own perception.
A thing called the dimension theory of reality. The basic tenet states that for every decision that's made, the alternative decision is played out in another reality.
Universal language taught regardless of the animosity of man. Animosity of man. Mankind. Humane. Humanity. Human emotions are concealed with artificial contempt. Being subjected to this world has done two things to me. Cloud the spiritual perception I was desperately searching for, and it's also made me realize energy is as endless and as strong as the clock that has us all enslaved. I agree. Even a master craftsman cannot build with happiness because his works will always be more noticeable than his actual crying out or rejoicement of pain. Is that the direction we're all headed, slowly being transformed into cold machines leading a repetitious life? Our hearts are no longer open to the simple, realistic, enchanting, natural, healthy, long-awaited fantasies, but more like machines pumping oil to keep us running in this rat race. So-called human nature is the downfall of the less fortunate ones. Ungratefulness and ignorance is the weakness of the fortunate. The ones who even maintain don't think so because their lives are compromised. Insecurities can even cause catastrophic occurrences on a regular basis. Excuses for animalistic behavior, for ignorance, for negativity, excuses for racism and lies. Searching the heart through the human eyes has left me in agonizing demise and disparity. Where my actions, are they just for charity reasons or because of my own insecurities? But see, I have no insecurities. I'm above human limitations.
Yeah.
I have become the essence of energy, pure energy, living in the realm of my own memories, my happiest memories.
A universal language taught regardless of the animosity of man. Yeah. Who am I? A skinny skin covered, finicky skeleton with an exoskeleton exposed to the nation's radiation, suspended in time, paralyzed, paraplegic with a brain tumor, fumigating those with a nose piercing, instead of tongue pierced with a fierce punch in a crunch time. Someday I'll be getting a renewed spine, step inside of my mind. I'm insubordinate, out of coordinates, sparking coordinates. Through hourglass sands of time, poetry's the essence of me. Essentially bringing internal, external pleasure in a surgical, biological moon. Coming out of my shell like a cocoon. Thoughts propel at a fast rate like typhoons until there's verbal secretion. Aliens, humans, hybrids, prepare for the impeachment I'm reaching. Mental, critical, unstable race, another role-playing level in this video game of death that I fear. And my mind's the gift. And I'm equipped with a microphone, sick one of metallic armor. Running through the cornfields in a force of illusion, impersonating a farmer of the United States, United Kingdom, animal kingdom, mechanical farm animals, lighting candles, smoke cancerous camels. Your brain when the universal word puzzle role-playing wordplay becomes swordplay. As a result or solution, I give a salute to the headless horseman lying on the railroad tracks, entertaining raccoons, looking for food. I'm a really cool dude, beheading heterosexual, eating undetestable vegetables, giving hypnotic, erotic, subliminal lectures to intellectual architects, feeling the texture of broken shells and molded minds. Remember, misuse and mishandling results in a premature scrambling. Since I'm losing the signal, signifying, magnifying, maleficent, magnificent ordinance. The mind is borderless once you've lost that single, simple thought pattern. Those I sent in solitary confinement, cause your steering needs alignment. I'll just use my hammer for more defined grammar, changing your course of direction. Down on the narrow yellow brick road with a tricycle, hypnotized by the shapes, colors, and sizes. I see an officer approaching, I start drifting off to the side. Driver's license, registration, insurance, urine sample, for example, are needed. When I see him reach for his club in order to prevent external bleeds, succeeded to manipulate his attention span. He doesn't notice the title Ultraman and the mic in my open hand.
Forbidden, self-destructive. Forbidden to these ancestral blood-driven derivatives, systematically reprogrammed sensory. Never knew of the complexity of a pentagram or the Pentagon. Formulating philosophical, theoreticized, Babylonic disputes, concerning burning synagogues. Don't even mention the God's complexion. Being of emulated purities. Insecurities bring out the God's complex, but how complex is God? Throughout televangelists infesting us with demonizing facades. Our forthcoming ancestry's blood becomes absorbed in these androidically entangled thorn crowns, which has cybernetically jeopardized our existence of non-extinction, instinctively breaching all forms of liberty. Misinterpretations consist of thou's maniacal hunger for using biblical text to cause conformity for a total hierarchical dictation, banishing the intelligence through the radiation of forged synastry, diminishing your falsification, artificial dissemination of non-progressive literary self-destructive comments, commentary spoken only in the language of the comments, augmented and reinvented by one's ego, unseen articulations, indications of unidentified emulations, incriminating visualizations, staring blindly through the eye of the needle, legalized intoxication, staring blindly through the eye of the needle, augmented and reinvented by one's ego, self-destructive comments of non-progressive literary commentary spoken only in the language of the comments, artificial insemination, legalized intoxication, incriminating visualizations, unseen articulations, indications of unidentified emulations. The slow die quicker, the quick die slowly. I'm starved, poet, wait. The quickly die slow. I'm a starved poet. I'm a starved poet, wait.
Tainted with the tinted intentions of a new world order. The world I once had knew is now over. Colder than the past wars of before a blood-red October. Clearly marked within his calendar, giving in the same 7 sins. He begins with the elimination process. The new recruit falls below without a parachute, much less a coat of flesh burned down to the bone, or at least what's last left. Now step into your new home. A charred skull holds no character. These faceless souls hold your reflection as a clown. Your demonic teammates can only make you feel more alone than when a cold stone was your pillow. Stone wondering just how far the afterlife will go, hoping the heaven and hell hypothesis to be only a myth. To dust they crush your wish after death. Gave her a great gift, disguising the pleasure of soft eyes and lips, a hard dick and taking, knowing damn well this isn't love that you two are making. You've eaten forsaken fruit. The first bite was followed by being swallowed whole. Now they have only to wait and let the poison take its toll. Now they have only to wait and let the poison take its toll. As far as what the future holds, we are only primates, apes with the capability to reproduce fire and electricity. After centuries, we have only recently reached the bottom of our peace. Speaking technically, we leave the speech of our street slang obsolete, or at least this is what they seek for peace. After corruption, destruction arouses among my poverty-stricken peeps. We just wanna eat, become one with the beat, and keep to ourselves. You can keep what's on the shelves, supporting the sale of the pale face and its plan for profit and puppet show, where all the actors are highly paid to buy blow. Expose the closed door to be nothing more than a mirror to the mere reality of a surrealist wet nightmare on 7th Street in Santa Clara to hate, and Ashbury, where a man's worries hurry to disintegrate through late night excursions, fulfilling the drug addiction and personal perversions. Or are they public? As soon as one's entertaining ideas appear on a TV through DVD, we watch it all turn 3D, easily outdone at the version .01. Remember that.
I find it humorous that the lies is contagious and tumorous, creating a tumultuous tower of tall tales and a sour attitude, needing to be sweetened with a shower of salt crystals, appearing in the physical for the whimsical inquisitor. I'm a visitor from another planet, exposed to the closed-minded, unexpanded thinking as unbreakable as granite. How can a person manage to keep their mind from being stranded on an isolated island of thought? I feel that when my path was crossed by the orange feline, I should have just kicked it to the side, ran and hid, waited for my next of kin to seek a spiritual fortune and gain leadership in a new millennium. My only occupation would be to pass down the miniature iron staff and mystic venom. What an unbreakable combination that would be. Two creations of a concubine with creative, intuitive minds, spiritually intertwined, sharing similar expressions, but on opposite journeys, on opposite sides of the forgotten realm, learning about the essence of pure negative and pure positive energy, and equal balance of every universal language constructed, sharing a gallant talent. Equipped with adamantium exosuits and hip-hop moon boots, side by side in the front line, leading the divine into a promised land, promised in time with no incisions, instead an equal opportunity of decisions, carrying the legacy of the universal vision, stored in the wisdom of the Triforce. Regardless of the heartless, spiritual insider manifests with a precious reference to silence, a divine language echoing in a cemetery, awakening the lost boys, carrying the lost books of the Bible, making their way to the cornfields, children of the corn, carrying pruning shears to cultivate the hip-hop crop of good and evil. evil, born under the radiance of the reddened sun and the fire sign, and a mixture of contaminated canisters carrying the DNA of British commanders in uniform, wearing a cuneiform of halos and horns. Serpento arises from the corridors, corresponding to the harmonious sounds awakening the eardrums of the mentally dumb. Angelic Neo Sapiens, or one with knowledge and wisdom of what we are, was created from the rejection of the system of things and neurotic overwhelming of the nebulae and the mastery of melodies. The master copy resides in the matrix of just I. My visions revive with a potent potion, restoring my strength to maximum length, and the hearts of the retarded with universal language taught regardless of the animosity of the heartless who will spread their arms and reach to the farthest regions. I recommend sympathetic form to reason for pathetic form to breathing called the catastrophic calamities in the underworld.
Heaven damn these boundaries we place on our soul. Behold the corridor to free the mind. Come with me and find the truth to what the lies speak of. These false preachings from an American alien. Father, forgive me, for I have sinned. I speak of the higher planes beyond the realm of Almighty you speak of. Where will you be when the false time is ended? Where will you be when the false time has ended? Motherfucker.
Ultraman, Ultraman. What is Ultraman? The undiscovered laws, Ultraman. Throughout the reign of animal and man on this earth. A universal language taught regardless of the animosity of man. The undying, legendary teachings remaining anonymous throughout the spirit of mankind. The unity upon this land taken from its rightful owners. Regardless of the animalistic manner, we still need to understand that the lies and the truth relate and answer the questions of humanity. Otherwise, it leads to insanity. It's intriguing to the mind, especially mine, because mine is confined to the walls and shores and unopened, unexplored corridors of thought. The walls surrounding the concrete jungle that I dwell in have sound blinds, so I follow the rabbit inside of a magic gate into a wonderland, cultivating poetry from the sound garden. The plan is to feed off the fat of the land for insight, natural response, knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. I'm planning for the long journey ahead of me. My destination is spiritual happiness. It happens with the equal use of thinking, feeling, emotions brought forth, a natural element of healing the emotionally sick and physically inclined that are incapable of tearing the shackles off their minds. Ultraman. But I don't know if that's possible. As my soul grows old and my body gets tired, the hourglass sands of time expire. The expiration date is the same as the day that I was born, into a forgotten realm of reality. Reality is just a cell that we're all trapped inside of, developing the wings of a dove, searching for the high ground. The olive leaf represents a plateau reached of mental immortality, pure energy, pure thought, with no technicalities involved. But still problems are unsolved. Ultraman. A universal language taught regardless of the animosity of man. Ultraman. Yeah. Daydream. Check it out. Yeah. I wish I was a part of that chain of angelic celestial beings, sprouting wings, joining me in my quest for spiritual immortality. My quest for spiritual happiness happens with common sense, proclaim universal proclamations made known to the unknown Nephilims that roam in the valley of shadows, sprouting wings in a vague halo. displaying their true form, and the purest element residing in their heart. What's in my heart is manifest through my actions. Everyday conquering of animalistic inclinations, glorified through this nation, with the scientific observation of others exploring their ancestry, childhood, adulthood, hood they've grown up in, hood that covers up their true identity, identifying and analyzing, not compromising, but underlining the main ideas. I'm just a tall guy that will soar higher than the stars. My silhouette will reflect in the light of the moon. Communication within will begin the melodious tune echoing in the ear. Silence is divine when you're listening to the cries of the pain-filled atmosphere. But still the subliminal signals vaguely appear. Through common courtesy, the content of my poetry subconsciously exposes the accepted conspiracies conjured from nurturing the natural everyday habitual animalistic ritual reciting excitingly the nature of humanity. A society so-called humane, civilized, but stereotypically categorized in a path of normal lives. My livelihood displays a soul that is alive, wearing a hood to hide my identity from unidentified, thriving, heartless, inanimate objects subjected to the open-minded proclamations. I live in a fantasy world, a world of dreams, wishful thinking, and imagination. But in order for me to get to my destination, I wish I had wings. And I wish I was a part of that chain of angelic celestial beings, sprouting their own wings, joining me in my quest for spiritual immortality. I wish I was a part of that chain of angelic celestial beings, sprouting wings, joining me in my quest for spiritual immortality. Their own wings. It surely is a dream that I reside in. Celestial beings, tropical, subtropical forestation, everything is alive here. Multicolored beehives, generating honey for human eyes only. Creations of big and small creatures, molesting seductive flowers, regardless of the size, strong enough to crush a tower. Vines with hearts that tear apart an elusive stem. Frogs with foresight, frolicking through an enchanted forest of illusion. Robotic pandas, pondering epistemology with use of self-conscious love handles. Reptilian serpents, severing the heads of purple daffodils as they slither through the fields of fairy dust. Winged creatures migrating in a nest filled with incubating offspring. 12-legged spiders spinning webs made of steel to carry the weight of dragon eggs. Blue lagoons with quicksand at the ocean floor. A nesting ground for the exotic sea slugs and salamanders reflecting in the lavender skies. From the depths of the mystic lagoon to the farthest universe filled with moons, this all exists within me. But still I wish I had wings. And I wish I was a part of that chain of angelic celestial beings, sprouting their own wings, joining me in my quest for spiritual immortality. I wish I was a part of that chain of angelic celestial beings, sprouting wings, joining me in my quest for spiritual immortality. Immortality, spiritual immortality. I wish I was a part of that chain of angelic celestial beings, sprouting wings, joining me in my quest for spiritual immortality. Ultraman. Legendary teachings and tall tales. 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 Tall tales and legendary teachings. Legendary teachings and tall tales. As the sun sinks into the earth and the moon begins to climb over the hill, a cow leaps over, causing an eclipse. The silhouette of the moon's lips move to the ultraviolet rays that dance over the Everglades and never cease to be amazed by the circle of life. The revolving of the planets, unsolved mystery surrounding the history of the stars, outer space and beyond my own borders. What if I kept my feet on the ground? What if I was subordinate to orders? I would like to take this opportunity to show you the unity within myself and communication deployed to all living creatures with a simple open-minded kindness and silence. Opening the windows, allowing confidence to overpower fear of the heart's vulnerability, limiting me. My wisdom through experience and sympathetic understanding. An experimental model of Ultraman tries to plant a seed of fertility in the womb of the mind, giving birth to a premature thought, hopefully developing into a loud voice, embellishing dreams of happiness, quenching that thirst of temporary contentment. My voice is not the voice of a scholar or of a genius. I just see the world becoming more convenient, polluted with artificial ingredients, artificial colors and flavors. Wonderful minds turning sour, producing negative behavior. A true savior relies on the spiritual mind that shines on and rides on this astral train of determination, protecting the soul from animalistic deterioration. Universal language, I'm racing against father time. My heavenly father's all in my mind when I'm high. I'm a divine father of character, giving for the sake of giving to the hungry bird. Food for thought, in exchange a superb, supreme human being. And those legendary teachings and tall tales should be models of virtuous thought. I'm not a poet, I'm just a founder of a humane state of mind. The master plan being an advantageous plan of good, creating incisions in time. Legendary teachings and tall tales should be models of virtuous thought. I'm not a poet, I'm just a founder of a humane state of mind. The master plan being an advantageous plan of good, creating incisions in time. Inspired by articulate expression of sentimental instrumentals, right in the back of a centipede into the earth's mist. I'm in the midst of futuristic poetic centurions originating from the Legion of Doom. It's hard for me to ignore what's in store for this world on doomsday tombs. Stay lodged in the ground. I wonder how many profound and intellectually stimulating philosophers were slain by villagers living in fear, shackled to the wall of ignorance with a silhouette of trees inhabiting their dreams. What's supposed to be reality? So overwhelming if they escaped and became exposed to the real power and radiance of the sunlight and abundance of forestation. It would cause them to flee from natural insight, taken in by eyesight. Sometimes I drift off with no paddle into the night, with a green lantern and canteen full of kerosene, mentally equipped with army fatigues and mad magazines, hypnotized by the shapes shifting inside of the lava lamp. In the center of the universe, dwelling on the new millennium, awaiting my barcode stamp of approval beneath my palm, as this construction of Cybertron takes place under the horizon. A universal language containing the everlasting possession of good, stated, standing in contempt before this judge of the system of things, hopefully bringing imagery into reality with a warm round of applause. The revolutionary effect is a result of a worthy cause, the sacrifice of a generous human being, no self-centered scheme, because the mind is the universe and the universe is the mind. Existing deep down inside is a dark crystal of time, found at the center of my imagination, my own sacred tabernacle, in which nothing can pass without my permission or logical decision. Universal vision. You see, most of these so-called human beings have a date with doom or a date with destiny. Let's see how many of them can alter their lives by simply altering their minds. I'll single-handedly, whether it's left up to me, alter time, regardless of the animosity of my foes. To walk with the immortals, my physical body becomes a chariot of my soul. And then, only then, will those legendary teachings and tall tales be models of virtuous thought. I'm not a poet, I'm just a founder of humane state of mind. The master plan being an advantageous plan of good, creating incisions in time. Legendary teachings and tall tales should be models of virtuous thought. I'm not a poet, I'm just a founder of a humane state of mind. The master plan being an advantageous plan of good, creating incisions in time. Legendary teachings and tall tales should be models of virtuous thought. I'm not a poet, I'm just the founder of a humane state of mind. The master plan being an advantageous plan of good, creating incisions in time. Legendary teachings and tall tales should be models of virtuous thought. I'm not a poet, I'm just the founder of a humane state of mind. The master plan being an advantageous plan of good, creating incisions in time. In time. Master plan creating incisions in time. In time. In due time. Creating incisions in time. In time. In time. Ultraman. Legendary teachings and tall tales should be models of virtuous thought. I'm not a poet, no. I'm not a poet, I'm just the founder of a humane state of mind. The master plan being an advantageous plan of good, creating incisions in time. Ultraman, a universal language taught regardless of the animosity of man. I remember when I was young, my mother used to refer to me as a Nephilim. Yeah, a Nephilim. I don't know, man. The definition was a little vague for a child's perception. I guess the only thing that I could see was this angel in darkness with a third eye for sightseeing. Half angelic being born in a realm of reality that made my anatomical structure out of the ordinary, confined to humanity. And that only can take me so far. Now the human anatomy my soul holds onto has its outer limits, limiting me to animalistic inclinations of the heart, bodily passions and desires. Man, what you truly see and desire should be the only thing overpowering your thought. But then my path was crossed by an orange tree line filled with feelings and emotions, and a complete discrete plan of the origin of Ultraman, a universal language taught regardless of reality's illusions. An intrusion in my mind filled me with this confusion, catastrophic occurrence has left me with no currency. Currently unemployed, part of a convoy of voyagers voyaging into an unexplored dimension, diminishing life forms. Must I warn you, to whom it may concern, or whoever's out there listening, to be or not to be compared, we're miniature Earths destroying ourselves. Man, alcohol is the way that I've been dealing with my pains of distress. My progressionary period hasn't put on layaway. Maybe the day will come once again when I come face to face with my destiny. Right now, though, I'm gazing at the other side of the mirror and see my soul fading away. Before my time, I remember I used to have complete control of thought and control of my mind. But the analytical console has been damaged. Exosuit's element properties have been properly distributed to men at arms and non-credivics, so they can enter into their own realm of forgotten realm of pure energy. Hell can't be the only thing existing out there, because heaven is a state of mind that begins with the origin of humanity and the precious essence of time it takes. That's what it takes, or so it seems, to reach the American dream. The real key to spiritual immortality, an incomprehensible message with comprehensible insight put into the crib before the ship takes flight into a galaxy, to another planet. Symbolically speaking, I feel that the dark side of my soul is burning up into pure energy. Pure energy. I don't know, man. I think that one way to expand and remember Ultraman is expanding your mind, redefining your definition of spiritual happiness, the American dream. Is that an illusion in itself? But first off, it offers an infrared, vague perception, obscure, unclear, unseen, unimaginable, inconceivable motives and concepts, except for the acceptable attributes, receptible to the human response. The universal language taught regardless of the animosity of man lives on. And on and and thoughts surrounding a universal language taught regardless of the animosity of man. Ultraman. The light just amazes me. You wanna know why the light amazes me? Illuminating in shady areas, the era of trapped energy. One of the reasons why Ultraman's eyes shine with the same illumination is because I have good communication within myself. No artificial contentment, but personal happiness, personal enjoyment. Yeah, unemployment was an obstacle at first, but you know, my optical intuition makes spiritual happiness my ultimate ambition in life. My insight is of experience. My wisdom is of open-minded dissent. My knowledge and understanding was handed to me with a succession of subconscious good deeds and the determination to succeed. I know it's easy to give up. It's also easy to run amok or get sucked into the tractor beam and sell your soul for the green buck. It's also easy to live life with a mean mug, even though it takes more muscles to frown than it does to make a smiley face. You can't erase the past. You can't live by the past. You can't look at little boys and girls in the world from the top side of the looking glass. You have to go deeper. Deeper. You have to go deeper. Digging through the soil until you feel the truth bubbling to the surface, until your skin starts to boil. And just then, only then, might that be the key to uncovering the precious essence of life that's trapped beneath this artificial system of things that we all live in. But that's just a thought, though. Take it however you want to take it, you know. This is just a perception of me. Ultraman. master of bodily passions and desires. Lover of learning is what inspires me on my journey. Summoning the Pegasus horse with a song of time, I'm a ghost rider. Lifting the curse that turned innocent children into spiders. Who will join me in the company of the sages, opening a porthole in amazement? A time capsule of eternity for containment. Forcing a demon, controlling ignorance into an abyss. A cell that lies between realms of imagery and reality. Forever will this beast have a stamp of power, as do I. Imprisoned inside of me is the Triforce of wisdom. Branded in my skin is its symbol, symbolizing the mental bond connecting me to the positive and negative dimension. A moon knight shining in a heat insulated suit of armor with a chemically blown afro, hiding the ageless face of a hero. My hands display the engraved markings of a man experiencing 7 years of fears, trapped inside of a dream as the hourglass sands of time fall like bloody tears. Embedded in me is my destiny, a long-awaited adventure besting me with an ignorance of reality. My forearms are covered by gauntlets made of gold linen, giving me the ability to crush boulders. The strength of 10 men and 100 Philistine soldiers lies in the palm of my hands. A soul by itself understands the origin of Ultraman. Knowledge, wisdom, understanding, a metaphysical experiment on the soul by itself understands the origin of Ultraman. My only companion is an omega of superb, supreme, thought and inner being, alpha centurion of good, battalion of evil, setting off energy around my aura, taking me to an enchanted place of euphoria, surrounded by deep and divine love of knowledge. Now my mind is limitless, incomprehensible and infinite, significant words inscribed across the mirror of my shield, enabling me to withstand the fiery breath of the Ganon, sending flames out of his lair into the deepest and darkest canyons. I'm standing at the top of the mountain, pointing my bow, firing an arrow into the heart of the sun. Its radiance overwhelms me, releasing an image only be able to grasp by the mind, revealing the true colors of my inner form, crushing the horns and unleashing the souls of ancient warriors, controlling the four corners of the earth. As waves crash against the seashore, I soar like a butterfly into the sky and walk across waters into the farthest regions, playing a melodic tune that can change the time of seasons. My miniature iron staff sings as my master sword swing delivers the final blow of tall tales and legendary teachings, shining over the rainbow. My boomerang of dexterity collects all the untamed hearts and priceless jewels of the Nile, while the kindness of my spirit shines through a simple smile. Experience is my greatest teacher of all time. I'm just an apprentice, clenching my fist around the glowing amulet, destroying the boundaries of my mind. The oppression's essence of time is what it takes, or so it seems. Hidden behind the walls of my realistic, enchanting fantasies of happiness, canceling out the message of negativity and animosity, speaking about what I feel and feeling what I speak. I think, therefore I am. A universal language taught regardless of the animosity of man. That's what made me who I am. An ultramaniacal Nephilim trapped in an imaginary story, not knowing, wallowing in a pit of despair, awakening in a nightmare of nonsense, with only a map, a single map, to guide me through the labyrinth. An ultramaniacal Nephilim trapped in an imaginary story, not knowing, wallowing in a pit of despair, awakening in a nightmare of nonsense, with only a map, a simple single map, to guide me through the labyrinth. As the sun sinks into the earth and the moonbeams bend in the mist, the wise owl carries me out of the nest filled with tormenting vultures. The eye of truth reveals the light of truth, bringing me to a time where my vision becomes encultured, cultivating the garden of Deku seeds for spiritual immortality, a world of tranquility, replenishing mortals, drinking from the fountain of youth in the secret garden. What an advantage plan, because a soul by itself understands the origin of Ultraman. Knowledge, wisdom, and understanding of metaphysical experiment is what made me who I am. An ultramaniacal Nephilim, trapped in an imaginary story, not knowing, wallowing in a pit of despair, awakening in a nightmare of nonsense, with only a single, simple map to guide me through this labyrinth. I am, who am I? I am but a link, an image. The story is me, dancing in the shadow of remaining virtue. And when my journey is complete, it'll all be just a dream, a deja vu.